I'm Tim Reese, Executive Director of the California-Nevada Community Action Partnership State Association. The stories you're about to see are about real people on Main Street America and how their lives are being changed by community action. I urge you to contact your local community action agency. Make a difference in the lives of your family, friends, and neighbors.
You will always find our energy weatherization program, our traditional community action early care and education division, but we're always trying to be taking some risks, jumping into some programs that are innovative. And I bring up two right now, our POPS research study program on fatherhood, and also our Liberty Tattoo Removal Program, just as two examples. And whether that's teenagers, whether it's low-income mothers, whether it's folks who maybe because they do have some tattoos, they want to move towards self-sufficiency. Nothing we do has been done by some of us just sitting around a table and saying, we need to go for that $100,000. Right. It's to meet real needs that exist in our community and reflect back to the community and advocate for those programs. So we must be linked with the private business community, volunteers. What could we do without volunteers in every program? The faith community, our students and faculty at our community college and Cal Poly, our state university. All of the sectors of the community are responsible to help alleviate poverty. Not just, it's our mission, right. Community Action Partnership, but we cannot do that by ourselves. We treat everyone in our world with dignity and that everyone is entitled to a positive quality of life. Now, community action is our overall umbrella, and I have always believed in it since I was a student teacher in Head Start many moons ago. Yeah. We are here to advocate on behalf of low-income people, affect institutional change, and offer the best high-quality programs to meet their needs. And that is what gives me clear direction, and I believe that overall philosophy is what guides our policies at the Community Action Partnership of San Luis Obispo.
I first became involved with what was then EOC, Economic Opportunity Commission, now Capsule, in 1991. I was looking to be involved in the community when I came to San Luis Obispo County, and I was referred to the EOC by a fellow banker who said that, I think this is an organization that you would like to be involved in. I met Biz and got to know the organization a little bit better, and really, found that the services were something that was right up my alley. So that's what is now going on 19 years now. Capsule, be involved in, is not just the fundamental social services side, but economic development as well, job creation, working together with other organizations and making sure that we're creating basic jobs for a wage earner to live independently, have access to child care, and have a decent living arrangement, whether it be in a rental housing or in owner housing. And Capsule has been a partner in the economic development side, the housing side, and of course all of the social service side that we know so very well.
We offer a variety of services related to energy conservation, weatherization, and home repairs. With the Recovery Act funds, we've already been able to create 5 new jobs for people who had been previously laid off as carpenters or in the construction industry. So we're very pleased to be able to provide good professional employment in the construction sector, in the green job sector for those people. We offer free weatherization services, which is long list of measures that we install in a house to make the house more energy efficient, to help make the house more comfortable, and also to resolve any safety issues that you might have with your gas appliances, with your furnace, your water heater, or your gas cooking appliances. Our targeted population is a lower income population in our county, and actually we work in 3 different counties, San Luis Obispo County, Monterey County, and northern Santa Barbara County.
Oh, you have a pretty wide area to serve.
Yes.
And what households are you looking at typically in helping?
A large portion of those are senior citizens. We help a lot of disabled families and disabled individuals, and lower income working families.
Now let's watch a video clip about a senior who's received services from Community Action.
I've been with CAP for 11 years, and today we're building a wheelchair ramp at a mobile home. The ramp is engineered to ADA standards to allow for flexible use and use by an individual who functions on their own.
Okay, Eleanor, tell us what it's like not having a ramp.
It's terrible, and it's hard to come in and go out. It'd be perfect for people like me, you know, and to have something like this to help them.
I've been very fortunate over the years to have so many success stories and to be part of changing so many lives. Each child, as they enter, they're given they have a physical and a lead testing. We have each child, we set them up with a medical home if they don't have a medical home already. Our dental program, we just, for instance, we just had a dental van last week, go out to all of our centers, and every child got a dental examination, and last year 100% of our children got the follow-up treatment that they needed before they went on to kindergarten.
It's so important to get follow-up treatment, and you're actually sending the medical care out to the Head Start program.
We have a disabilities program, and actually 10% of our children minimum have disabilities.
Really?
And then we have, of course, there's many special needs. We often have children who are referred to us from the court system or foster home, and we help foster parents prepare, and it's just an extra support.
Now, how did you begin your Head Start journey?
Well, when I was a teen parent, I got pregnant, and the first thing that came to my mind was Head Start, because that's where, you know, I went, and since I had a good experience, I didn't think about it, you know, I put my child in there, and I knew he was going to be good.
Because I understand you're involved with Head Start now.
Yes, I am. Well, after he did the program, I like the program, how it works, so I got involved. After I graduated, you know, from high school, when I finished my education, I decided that I was going to go in that field because, you know, I love it. I love working with kids.
And what job did you have then?
First, I started as an assistant. Then I moved up to a teacher. I always work with the little ones. Yeah.
What ages were the little ones?
They're 6 weeks to...
Oh, babies.
Babies.
Oh,
so
wonderful.
It's just like cuddling, you know.
Yes.
Just...
I understand that the Recovery Act has touched your life. What has happened now where the Recovery Act has helped you?
Well, they give us the opportunity to finish, you know, my education and getting my bachelor's,
So you're a teacher in Head Start. You've met those qualifications, and you're moving on to your bachelor's degree?
Yes.
What school are you enrolled in?
In La Verne University.
Actually, the Migrant Seasonal Head Start program has actually been around for about 39 years. A lot of people are familiar with the regular Head Start program that's been around for about 44 years. And really the history of the Migrant Seasonal Head Start started because when the migrant families would come into the areas, there basically would not be any room in the facilities because of their migration would come in maybe in the spring. By that time, the centers were fully enrolled.
So children of migrant seasonal farm worker families were not getting that preschool education preparedness that they really needed.
That's correct. To qualify for our program, both parents have to be working,
Oh, both parents are working and employed.
Right, and because of that, that sort of creates some unique situations in where, because they're agricultural workers, many of the families go to work like 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. So that means that we have to start picking up our children at 4:30 in the morning. So they sometimes have between 10, 12 hours a day in our centers.
My parents migrated from El Salvador when in 1985. I was 4 years old. At the time, it was 5 of us in the family: mom, my dad,
right,
and my 2 brothers and me. Right. My parents they came to this to United States looking for better opportunity.
Sure.
They started working in the fields, picking grapes and then the watermelon. Not knowing where to turn is whenever we found a program like this. It's a Migrant Season Head Start program. And I can remember that we had long days. The bus used to pick me up somewhere around 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, my.
Yes, long day. And we would, in the morning, we would get there, we would sleep, we would eat burritos, eggs. It was a nice environment for somebody that was, like for me, that wasn't used to something like that. Now, my role has changed. I'm a center director for...
Now, you're a center director where?
For Buena Vista and Lamont. I love my job. I love it. The reason I started to do this was because I remember the first years that I was a substitute. A little girl came up to me. She pulled me from the leg.
Yeah.
She was going to go on to kinder. It was Friday. She was going to go to kinder on Monday.
Oh, so she was leaving the Head Start program to go on, graduate.
And I got on one knee, and she gave me a hug, and she told me, "Te extraño, I'm going to miss you."
Oh, wow.
Te voy a extrañar mucho.
How did that feel to you?
I think from there on, it's like, I decided to, this is where I'm, I got to stay here. This is where I'm at.
Where you're meant to be.
Yeah, this is where I'm meant to be.
Oh, how wonderful. Correct. And so you're working at Head Start now. What else are you doing? Because I understand that you're in school?
Yes, I graduated from CSUB.
University of California in Bakersfield?
Correct.
And what did you major in?
Child adolescence and family studies, and a minor in sociology.
Yeah. One of the requirements of Head Start is that by the 2013, our teachers are required to have a BA. And because we're working with the migrant population and many of our families, and many of our teachers come from that area, they're also lacking education. There's a real struggle. Because of that deadline, we're really putting a lot of focus on education. We've been doing that for many, many years. The recovery money is just really going to give us such a tremendous boost to encourage people to continue their education through accelerated programs, having classes near their home, having some of the classes in Spanish. So this money has been very, very timely in helping our staff. We also are we will be hiring a person that's going to help in connecting them with the universities and connecting them with classes that will be there in their community.
I'm working on my master's right now.
Your master's degree?
Correct.
Wow. I'm very, very impressed with your tenacity to work and achieve those goals in your life.
Thank you.
What is POPS?
POPS stands for Positive Opportunities for Parenting Success. And it is a research study that we are doing with UC Berkeley, Yale, and Smith. It's conducted over 9 years. We're one of 5 counties participating in California. My 2 guests are our licensed therapists that conduct our counseling sessions with the mothers and fathers that we work with. Bill Schmidt is a licensed marriage family therapist, and
welcome,
Laura
Bill.
Ortiz.
Hi, Laura. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. Well, the results have been a really exciting part of the project, and what we've found so far is that dads and moms who have participated in our program have shown signs of decreased stress, decreased anxiety. Dads have been more involved in their children's lives, both physically and emotionally, just more connected and more engaged. And one of the most exciting things we've found is that the couple satisfaction has really maintained, and typically with parents of young children, couple satisfaction tends to decrease over time, and what we've been able to do is really maintain that level of satisfaction and really help couples. Well, our groups are run weekly, so we meet with our families every
Okay.
single week for 13 weeks, and groups are about 2.5 hours. We do provide childcare for our families, so it makes it really accessible. We run groups in the evenings so we can accommodate dads who might be working.
The family experiences a bonding relationship with the two therapists, but they're also assigned a case manager who serves as a family advocate for them and connects them with resources that they may need beyond the services we provide them. And we establish relationships that last 18 months or longer with the families that we're serving.
You know, a lot of people are going through a lot of stress right now just because of the economy and just things of life. And yeah, you know, when people come together, one thing we do is to look at your stress and kind of normalize it. What you're going through is what you're going through. And a lot of people try to avoid it, you know, try to do other things to avoid your stress, but stress is normal with, you know, in life. And so how do we handle that? And in fact, one of our groups is totally dedicated on stress and stress reduction. Some tools you can use to reduce stress, things that might help you. And looking at what you're doing right now that's kind of making you stressful, and what can you do different? Whether it be a walk on the beach or listen to music, or, you know, a time together as a date night or something, and look at life a little bit differently.
We work with organizations to make sure that they're having father-friendly policies, something as simple as a father-friendly reception area. Staff are welcoming fathers to participate in the program. So we're slowly integrating father-friendliness and father involvement on many different layers in the community, and hopefully going to move forward and sustain beyond the research project.
The boys in the family, they're watching their dad, and they're watching their dad, how he's treating mom. And he set an example how men are supposed to treat women. And it can be a good example or a bad example. And so we make that conscious for the dad that your son is watching you, treating how you treat his mom. So we want to set a good example.
Over the years, we've been able to integrate different types of groups. It is a research study which has very specific guidelines, but we're going to be expanding to work with more Head Start families and in a different region of our county. So it's really exciting to us to connect with families that already have great comprehensive services within Community Action Partnership, but we're going to kind of tack on to the father involvement aspect of those programs and just kind of emphasize it more with good communication between parents and add to their parenting program.
Our family came through the program about 3 years ago in 2006. At the time, they were really stressed. So there was a real connection with them and how they were parenting. And what we do, we work on the couple's relationship, helping them to reduce their stress and kind of normalize what they're going through. And that filters down to their children. So less stress for the parents means less stress for the children.
Well, let's watch that video clip right now.
What drew me to the program is we just had some life changes going on. We just moved back in from out of state after an injury that he had that ended up being career-ending for him. And so we were having a transition and trying to, you know, find our paths. And I wasn't ready to go back to work yet because I had 3 young children. And we moved back and we had a new child, so we had a third one and 3 children that were 5 and under. And it was like a lot of transitions, it was a lot of stress. And, you know, we were still pretty much holding strong as a couple, but we felt it was affecting our parenting style. And I thought, hey, we just need an outlet, someone we could talk to. And I happened to find a flyer on my car at one of the local children's events. And I go, Pete, what do you think about this? And he said, sure, let's try it out. So we signed up.
Great. What would you guys say is the most important thing you learned in the POPS program going through the project?
For me, it was the communication, not only with Sharon, because we've been pretty good about communicating through our relationship, but with the children, having, you know, not just talking to them as kids, but as they grew older and they learned to, you know, reason a little bit better, to actually sit down and talk with them as a person, not just as a child, and just get their feelings, more or less.
Sean Eisen has been our Maxine Lewis Memorial Shelter manager for 12 years, and she just got a day job. She's running the Prado Day Center now, which is our complimentary service, and she's our expert. She's going to share some key information about what we have learned about the homeless population in San Luis Obispo County.
In my 12 years experience, I've seen a trend and change and a shift. Unfortunately, we're seeing more children and more families. We're seeing probably more, double what we were when I first started. We're always trying to dispel the myth because it is families, it's elderly, it's people with disabilities mentally and physically. We had a family recently who was displaced because of a house fire. They were uninsured and they didn't have any resources, no safety net, and they ended up in our services. And we provided wraparound services. We have the night shelter, we serve dinner and breakfast. We work along with Interfaith Coalition for the Homeless. They've been involved with us for 20 plus years. And they help us with our overflow program where we house our families every night. And we also have our day center services.
How many people are you touching daily through your homeless programs?
Saw upwards of 147 last couple weeks.
Oh, 147 a day.
Yes.
And
plus the families and individuals who are maybe not living in the shelter or going to the day center anymore because they got our services, but are still in our case management approach countywide.
And what would a case manager do to help a homeless individual or family?
Tie them into any resources that they may not have even known they were available for. Get their children child care, get them emergency food stamps, get them onto the housing lists, get them therapy or drug or alcohol treatment, or help them back into school, or help them back into the workforce. We really want to provide self-sufficiency.
How can they access your services?
They just show up on our doorstep.
Just show up.
Just show up.
And you're there to help them.
I think our networking throughout our county with our 211, a lot of counties in the country have 211 and hotline.
Right.
We hear of calls because Sean used to get them. She told me today.
Right.
Between 1 and 3 in the morning, a family destitute calls hotline, and then they called Sean, right? So we are there, but we're only there because of the knowledge and the education that we've been able to provide working in concert with our partners. So the Recovery Act is funding the day center position at the Prado Day Center, which she started, I think, September 1st. So the recovery dollars is helping our homeless population right out of the gate. One of the first positions funded was Sean's position. Many cities and counties across the country are. Everyone's heard of the 10-year plan to end chronic homelessness.
Right.
We have our own plan, but it's called a path to home. And sometimes people can move down the path a little sooner than others. Our vets from Vietnam as well as Iraq right now, we work very closely with the Veterans Office, and there are recovery funds that are helping the veterans. I think that we're very conscientious at not duplicating service with our partners. So this is leading, now that we have this plan, it's been blessed by all 7 cities and our county. It's a miracle. I'm honored to introduce Richard. Richard's going to share a lot of experience he's had and give you just a little bit of information about the Liberty Tattoo Removal Program.
Let me see, growing up, I grew up in a rough neighborhood. I never really felt a part of anything. So I also didn't have a father figure. So the gang members that were in my neighborhood were the people that I looked up to. And when I looked up to them, I seen that they had the tattoo work and just the lifestyle that they were living, like on the edge. But I do regret them.
Richard, what has Liberty Tattoo Removal Program meant to you?
Well, actually, it's giving me confidence back. It's helping me feel good about myself. I know that I'm doing something positive in my life. I'm trying to change my ways. My kids also see me as a role model in their life, and you know, they see me removing my tattoo, so they know that it's something that they shouldn't do when they grow older, you know. And it just, you know, it helps me feel good to know that I'm trying to make changes, because it's taken me a lot of years to finally come up with the conclusion that, hey, I need to change my life, you know. It gives me the opportunity to give back to the community, because I have to do community service in order to get a session done, and that's something I enjoy.
So giving back is a requirement of participating.
Exactly.
What does giving back mean for you in the program?
It means a lot to me because the place that I do some of my hours is one of them is the Good Samaritan shelter, and I've been homeless before, so I've walked that path and I know how it is. So it feels good to give back to those type of individuals that are in the struggle as I once was. Also, the Boys and Girls Club is another one. I like working with the youth because they know that I'm there doing hours to change my life because I'm trying to remove these tattoos. So if they could see me trying to remove them, then they know that, hey, you know, that's probably not the right thing to do, you know, if they might have thought about like tattoos are cool or maybe this is something I should do.
The hospital, they have these dermatologists that you have to wear goggles every time you're getting, laser light. And so our 2 dermatologists donate their time because they're committed to Richard and his friends, you know, other friends in this program. Community action in San Luis Obispo County is helping people and changing lives, one person at a time, one family at a time, one community at a time.